Welcome back. In today's Power BI DAX will type dive, we are going to master the distinct function, one of the most important yet misunderstood table functions in DAX. We'll cover syntax, behavior, aggregation, patterns, and how filter context changes the result dynamically. Let's start with the basic concept. Distinct removes duplicates and returns only unique values from a column or table expression. Notice how the input column contains repeated values A and B appears multiple times. After applying testing, we get a clean table containing only A, B, and C. Important point is that distinct returns a table, not a number. This is the foundation for many advanced text calculations. There are two main scenarios where distinct is used. Scenario A is where a single column. So here distinct simply removes duplicates from one column and returns the unique values. And scenario B, that is a table expression. Instead of one column, we can pass a table or multiple columns. In that case, distinct returns unique combination of rows. This is extremely useful when working with composite keys or multiple attributes. This is one of the biggest mistake beginners make. Distinct does not return a count. It returns a table object. Because of that, you cannot directly place distinct into a card visual. You need an aggregation function like count rows to convert it into a scalar values. Here's the most common pattern used in real projects. First, distinct creates a virtual table of unique values. Then count rows counts how many rows exist in that virtual table. Think of it as a two-step process. Step 1, remove the duplicates, and step 2, aggregate it. Let's look at a practical example. Like we'll be also seeing a practice example as well, but just a formula here. Suppose we create a measure called unique customers, and inside it count rows wrap the distinct function. Distinct generates a unique list of customer keys and count rows returns the total number of unique customers. This is a very common pattern in business reports. Let's break down the measures into parts. Count rows X as the aggregator, it counts the rows, and distinct X as a generator, it creates a virtual table. And internet says like this, that's a USD, simply the source column. Understanding this separation helps you debug complex DAX formula much faster. One powerful feature of distinct is that it respects the filter context. When slicers or filters are applied in the report, distinct only sets the visible data. This means results are dynamic and automatically adjust based on user selections. You can see a live example with no filters applied. The value is around, we can see here 1500. But when the year slicer is done, it and when we applied for 2023, the result updates instantly to 340. This shows how Distinct reacts to report filters and create dynamic analytics. Let's quickly summarize. Distinct returns unique values or unique row combinations. It outputs a table, not a number. To get counts, wrap it up into count rows. And remember, results always respect the current filter context. Now we'll even see a practical example of this, how it actually works out. Okay, now we'll see some practical examples here. Okay, and we'll see how it actually works out. Okay. So now we have this data here for sales data, and if we go and see this, okay, there are some regions that are repeated. Order ID is unique, and customer names somewhere are reported, like repeated. Sorry, and the product is also repeated, right? So what we can do is, okay, we'll just see each and everything. So I'm just taking like we'll just create a new table for customers, like for the regions, that how much we have. So what I have done is we're just writing the column name, and then a distinct function is used, and the sales data, and then the region is selected, and we'll say commit. So now if we go here, there is already, like, we have this distinct regions. Okay. So now also we have just seen something like, a count rows plus a distinct one, like in a theoretical part, like count rows plus distinct, how we want to use it, correct? So we just take that example as well. So I'll just create a new measure here. Okay, saying distinct customer count, like just counting the rows, that's it. Just there's like no specific this here. Then again, count rows are used, and I'm wrapping that. I'm like wrapping the distinct function into the count rows. Okay, and we'll see how it works. I'm just placing enter. Okay, now I have this. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just take this and we'll just try to see. Okay, so now what has happened is we can see the unique customers count, right? So in a similar way, let's just understand, because we have that now. Okay, um so let's just try to create a new table here. Suppose, say for example, distinct customers, and we'll say commit. Okay, now we'll just have this table here, and we'll try to have this customer's name. So as you can see here, our data is matching. Okay, this I'm just showing so it can be understood whatever the system is giving us, it is similar. Okay, so see, it has like five data, and it is giving us like the count as well. So what we have seen earlier is that to count how many are there, because a distinct function only creates a table. Okay, so in this formula as well, it has, in the measure, it has first created this particular distinct table, and then it is returning us the count of rows, how much it was. Okay, so this is how basically a distinct table works. Okay, so hope you guys have understood this video and how this distinct function